The auto-tune process that's most frequently used is what's called the rotational auto-tune. I'm using a Series 5 drive. We'll demonstrate the function of this. So we're going to hit the menu key and scroll down to the directory that says auto-tune. And I'm going to open that directory up. I'm going to go into the motor parameter tuning. And we're going to select rotational auto-tune. What's going to happen here is we're going to open this up, and essentially we're going to answer questions regarding the motor that is connected up to the particular drive. And in this case, it's a VG Plus Series 5 drive. We're going to enter the motor nameplate data. One thing to look at when you go into the auto-tune function and start to enter parameters, down at the lower portion of the keypad screen, there'll be an acceptable range that we can put in. You cannot enter data greater than what's in here, or the drive will kick you out with a fault. All right, so the motor that we have connected up to this drive here it's a dual voltage motor. It's designed for 230 and 460 volts. We are going to enter the 230 volt range, and it happens to have a horsepower rating at 60 hertz of 0.25. So to change the data here, I'm going to scroll across with the arrow that points to the right, and I'm going to merely change the 7 to a 2, and I'm going to lock it in with the enter key. Okay, next question that comes up is the voltage rating. And again, like I said previously, this motor is going to be operated in the 230 volt range. We're not going to change this one. I'm going to open it up. Now it's going to ask for the nameplate full load amps on this particular motor. All right, so the amperage rating on this motor nameplate for 230 volts is 1.2 amps. So scroll across, change this to 2, enter. Okay, and it's going to ask for the base frequency of the particular motor, and so this is a 60 hertz motor, so we're just going to skip over this one. Next one is the number of poles. Okay, the number of poles on this motor, this is going to be a 1755 RPM motor, which corresponds at 60 hertz to a 4-pole motor, and this is also on the nameplate of the motor, but we got all this data already in the drive as a default, so we're going to leave this and just skip over it with the enter key. This is where it's going to ask the business of the motor rated RPM. This particular motor is rated at 1755, so I'm going to scroll across and enter that number here. Enter. Now, this is a closed loop drive, and in the auto-tune function, the rotational auto-tune, it's going to ask the number of pulses per revolution, PPR, of the encoder that we are using to watch and maintain, indicate, whatever term you want to use, motor speed. This particular encoder is a 1024 pulse per revolution encoder. That is our factory default setting. This number can be changed, whatever encoder you might be using. We chose 1024 because that gives us, essentially, it's a common number in industry. It gives us very good resolution as far as monitoring motor shaft position. And that's enough said on that. Anyway, we won't have to worry about changing this one, so we'll skip over that. And then it says no load voltage. Well, on this motor nameplate, I don't have that. And it says here, enter motor no load voltage. If not known, use default. And so we're going to use the default listed there of 195.5. Going to hit the enter key. And now it says to start tune, press the green run key. Okay, and then press the home key or the stop key, whatever on the keypad, and that will discontinue motor being energized. Now, one thing to note is that during the function of auto-tune, the rotational auto-tune, to be clear, during the function of rotational auto-tune, the drive does not release the holding brake. This has to be manually released, which I will do. And now everything looks like it's ready to go, so I will press the green run key. And in the Series 5 drive, there's a bar graph that indicates how far along the auto-tune is going, but it also shows you the frequency output and the current output of the drive. You can probably pick up the high-pitched whine. Done. And if it likes what it sees, it says end, auto-tune successful. You have now completed the rotational auto-tune process.